the early hours of August 8, 1963, the quiet countryside of Buckinghamshire, England, was shattered by one of the most audacious crimes in British history. A Royal Mail train carrying millions of pounds in cash was on its way from Glasgow to London, but it would never reach its destination. The mastermind behind the heist was Bruce Reynolds, a career criminal with a sharp mind and a taste for luxury. Along with a team of 15 men, he meticulously planned every step of what would later be called the Great Train Robbery. Reynolds and his gang studied the Royal Mail train schedules, its security protocols, and the route, every detail that would help them pull off the perfect heist. This wasn't just any robbery. This was a military-grade operation. The gang spent months preparing, hiding out in a rented farmhouse, practicing communication, and rehearsing the roles each man would play. They had one goal: to stop the train, transfer the cash, and disappear without a trace. At 3 a.m. on August 8th, the gang was in position. They had rigged a false signal light on the tracks at Sears Crossing, where the train would be forced to stop. As the train approached, the red light flickered on, signaling the unsuspecting driver to halt. The gang waited in the shadows, hearts pounding, knowing that this moment would determine everything. Armed with wooden batons, they quickly overpowered the driver and secured control of the train. They disconnected the train cars carrying passengers and crew, leaving only the engine and the high-value package carriage, where the money was stored. Inside the carriage, the gang found bags of cash, stacks upon stacks of British currency worth £2.6 million, equivalent to over £50 million today. They wasted no time, loading the money into their trucks, each man working swiftly yet carefully. Within minutes, they'd secured their fortune and left the train and the crew behind. The gang retreated to their hideout, a farmhouse called Leatherslade Farm, about 27 miles away. There, they planned to lay low until the search died down, but paranoia and tension crept in. The heist had gone so smoothly, yet their escape was beginning to unravel. Within days, police launched a massive investigation, and the gang's hideout became a point of weakness. Their decision to leave quickly led them to make crucial mistakes. They left behind fingerprints, a monopoly board with cash from the heist, and other incriminating evidence. The police discovered the farmhouse soon after, launching one of the largest manhunts in British history. Detectives combed through clues and interviewed countless people, but the gang's members had scattered. It would take months of investigation, but eventually, one by one, the robbers were identified and arrested. Some members were caught abroad. Others had attempted to live quiet lives, but the dragnet pulled them all in. Most of the gang members were sentenced to long prison terms, including Reynolds, who was captured in 1968 after years on the run. But not everyone was caught. Ronnie Biggs, one of the robbers, managed a daring escape from prison and fled to Brazil. His escape turned him into a folk hero, living openly in Rio de Janeiro, out of reach of British authorities. His story would keep the legend of the Great Train Robbery alive for decades. To this day, over £2 million of the money stolen in the heist was never recovered. Many believe it's hidden somewhere in the English countryside, waiting to be found. The exact details of how the gang spent or stashed the cash remain one of Britain's greatest unsolved mysteries. The Great Train Robbery has captured the public's imagination for over half a century. It was a crime of precision and ambition that few could believe possible. It became a tale of fortune, betrayal, and mystery, leaving questions that may never be answered. The robbers may be gone, but their legend lives on. Was it worth it? Or did they pay the ultimate price for one night of fortune? One thing's for sure. In crime, there's always a price to pay. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to subscribe to Crime Chronicles for more daring heists and unsolved mysteries. And remember, sometimes the perfect crime is only an illusion.